The increasing interest in culture for local development processes finds its antecedent in certain experiments in urban and regional planning, such as the urban regeneration plans carried out by the Greater London Council from the 70s, based on a strategic vision focused upon the necessity of endowing local economies with a suitable level of tangible and intangible cultural infrastructure. The issue of culture-led renovation processes for urban areas and regions have subsequently developed both at the theoretical and policy level, fueled by the evidence of the positive influence provided by culture over the local economy, the social fabric, and the built environment. The sociologist Terry Clark used the metaphor of the entertainment machine to describe the light of postmodern cities, especially in the US. Many scholars agree that the key of success for a contemporary city is to offer amenities which make the city more attractive to its inhabitants and tourists. According to the economist Edward Glaser, a growing and affluent city should be able to do different things: to deliver effective services like schools, transports, administration, and so on, to provide plenty of goods and to create a pleasant urban settings, and to offer several opportunities of leisure like sport and wellness centers, bars, restaurants, museums, parks, and so on. A city is always a city wherever it may be, wrote the historian Fernand Braudel in 1967, meaning that we cannot reduce the notion of city to only one or few aspects. No matter if we refer to an old European town or to a China's megacity, we should keep in mind their complex intelligibility. Latest urban policies seem to contradict this statement and prescribe competitive policies based on specialization. Cities have to find their appeal for consumers and investors, and to build up a seductive imaginary around a catching theme. In fact, what we have witnessed in the past year is the proliferation of bohemian quarters, cities of festivals, museum districts, creative clusters, and other more or less original brands. These urban strategies often take opposite directions. In many cases, the productive dimension is totally overshadowed by consumer-based activities. We find places with a mix of entertainment and shopping, but with a major lack of authenticity. Known places, as the sociologist Marc Augé would call them, expressively designed to recreate artificial atmospheres, standardized and controlled environments, enhance experience of consumption. On the contrary, the cool and vibrant metropolis occupies streets and squares, increases the opportunity of network and of encounters. And above all, it never sleeps. Everything would sound convivial and friendly if the development of nighttime economies would not imply also costs of law and order, costs of connected with the abuse of drugs and alcohol, prostitution, and so on. These sort of problems might cause the usual conflicts between residents and revelers, students and senior citizens. This enjoyable picture resembles more a theme park or an open party, realities which hardly become inclusive for the non-affluents, for the low-educated, and for the immigrants. So, who is catering for the needs of this part of the urban classes? We cannot forget that our cities' daily functioning is owed to low-skilled service workers like porters, taxi drivers, cleaners, waiters, and so on. How can we guarantee access to the above services and amenities to that portion, sometimes a big portion, a large portion, of the urban society which lives at the margins?